want to invite our next two speakers here on stage. So please welcome Valentín Alfaya, Sustainability Director at Ferrovial and President of the Spanish Green Growth Group. Valentín, are you here with us? Here we go, Valentín. Pleasure meeting you, sir.
My pleasure.
Take a seat, please. And also joining us here physically, Ricardo Laiseca, Managing Director and Head of Global Innovation and Analytics at BBVA. Where are you, Ricardo? There you go. Have you in the jury. They take you here. OK, and in our connection, direct link, please welcome David Urbano, Chief Marketing Officer at Imagin. David, thank you very much for joining.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you. There you go.
OK, perfect. Sorry.
Great. So now that I have you here, I would like to start with you with this question. I was checking a little bit of your background. You've been working extensively in the bank in different positions, doing mobile banking and digital network director. Then you jumped to run the Imagine Bank, and now you've kind of re-engineered or created a new approach, a new strategy that you just recently launched called Imagine. So can you please tell us a little bit more about the new strategy, and maybe the most important part is how does that connects directly with the sustainability core?
Yes, of course, of course. Yes, we as you were saying, we relaunched Imagine last June, and basically what we have done is we have transformed the Imagine Bank solution, which was the Spanish leading mobile-only bank for young people, into one of the biggest digital platforms dedicated for the young users. And at that moment, Imagine is a platform of over 2.6 million young users. And it has become a platform that includes financial and also non-financial services, such as digital content and experiences. And we want to position Imagine as a reference in sustainability because it's one of our community main concerns. In order to do that, we have defined a clear strategy focused on 3 of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, which are these 3: sustainable communities, responsible production and consumption, and also action for the climate. And to implement this strategy, we have created a proposal for all of community, and that's what we call Imagine Planet. So Imagine Planet is much more than a combination of activities and initiatives. With Imagine Planet, we define how we want to be as a company, with who we want to work, and also what impact we want to have into the society. To tell you an example of that, one of the initiatives with the best acceptance among our community was the Imagine Planet tour with Dani Yescas, which is a Spanish influencer with more than 1 million followers, and we have done that last month. And together with Dani Yescas, what we have done is we went over the north of Spain riding a bike. Well, he has riding a bike, not me. And what we have done is with this challenge, with only one mission, to help reforesting a forest. And over the kilometers that he has done, Dani Yescas, for each kilometer we have reforest 1 tree. So this is an example of what we do on Imagine Planet.
Wow, that's quite impressive. I was just thinking that in some moments we're going to have someone that literally walked around the globe, the first person to walk around the globe. You should talk to him for every time he walks, you plant a tree. Thank you very much. Pleasure having you, David. And I'm going back to you guys. Big question. I'm going to start with Valentín. Big question, okay? Are you ready?
Not sure.
Not sure. No, so, you know, we talk a lot about innovation, but in all honesty, it's the big companies that sometimes have the muscle and have the inertia to change some of these things. So I want to poke your brain a little bit on how do you see, what are the roles and the responsibilities for large corporations like Ferrovial in terms of energy transition? What's your weight? What do you bring to the table?
Well, I think, first, thank you very much for inviting me to take part in this outstanding event. I think, in my view, big corporations, particularly big corporations, should be focused on at least 3 areas. The first one is obviously to set uh, carbon reduction targets ambitious enough. In my view, this means to be aligned with the science expectations. For example, Ferrovial was the first company worldwide in our sector in agreeing and achieving this agreement with the Science Based Target Initiative. So first, ambitious targets. Second, in my view, we should deliver, if you want, reliable roadmap for decarbonizing our portfolio. That means first, reducing the carbon intensity of our business model and our portfolio. And second, even more important for me, to, in a sense, embed this transition, energy transition, and climate change expectations or needs in the business portfolio. That means to, if you want, shape our business model in order to provide those solutions the humankind and the society needs for addressing properly this huge challenge. And last but not least, I think it's important to, particularly for the big corporations, to try our voice to be heard at the level of governments, regulatory bodies, because we've been, if you want, very shy in providing inputs to the regulatory processes. And basically, I think we should follow the recommendations of the United Nations General Secretary, for example, 3 years ago or something like that. He asked us, first, you, the companies, you should be more vocal, more demanding, in a sense, to misbehave. Misbehave means, in that sense, to make our voice to be heard strongly, yep, in a strong position in order to the regulatory bodies and governments to get our input clear.
No, it's very important, and we get that stuff from the startup perspective, where they say, like, you need to raise your voices because regulators
Absolutely.
need to understand how to do this, right? And
Absolutely.
we move so fast, and the acceleration is so big that sometimes it's hard to even pinpoint what exactly. I was just thinking, you know, what it is one day in your life when there's suddenly a new change in regulation. You have to go through the whole stack of, like, where is this going to impact us? So, yeah. We'll get there at one point. Thank you very much, Valentín, and Ricardo. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Question for you. You have kind of a very eclectic background, which is really interesting, being a long time in the bank, but in different roles, very powerful, very, I would say, important roles within the bank. And from your current perspective, right now as head of global innovation, you're probably getting in touch with a lot of startups and a lot of innovative things. Do you feel, since you've been there, that there's been an acceleration on the kind of interactions and the kind of new wave of sustainability that you are getting exposed to? From the outside, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Thank you. My view is that everything is changing. We are living in a very challenging time, no? We are living in a global pandemic situation and also in a global economic crisis at this moment after the pandemic. So it's time to act. So we feel that the financial institutions, we should have carry on and represent a part of the solution. I feel that we have done this for a long time. This is something financial system can contribute a lot, but at this time, it's time to reorientate our daily activities, the way we conduct our daily operations, into a much more sustainable way. It's a responsibility of everybody, not just the banks, but I feel that banks in particular, we can contribute much more than ever. Maybe it is the time where banks can have a unique approach to economic growth and a unique approach to serve our society and the world in a different way.
No, you're very right. I think it's kind of connected with...
They are one of the main drivers now.
I know. I was just going to say that.
Just follow the money. If the money goes that way, everything is going to change.
No, but I would say that even the core values, it's not just the money. It's like I've seen BBVA changing the needle in many ways. So
Yes, as I said, this is a unique opportunity. It's about values, it's about people, but also it's about technology and data, right? It's important to include the new competencies, the digital competencies we already have into the equation, because we can offer more solutions than ever. We can treat our clients better, we can offer different solutions, personalized solutions, in particular around sustainability.
That's right. Well, we're nearly getting out of time, so it's been a pleasure having both of you here and the connection over here with David. Thank you very much, all three, for being here and sharing your thoughts. In all honesty, I'm going to cheat here, and I'll tell you this, but every time I go outside, everyone comes to me and says, like, oh, do you know the guys from BBVA? They're doing so many cool things with data. So some cool things you might be doing, because people are actually listening. So all three of you, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for being here. And talk to you very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
A pleasure.